Channel's here on the chart, all right. And so are the marking lights.
Then what's wrong with them?
Those lights don't seem to be in just the right place. They're both a bit out of position, according to this.
2 light buoys mean a safe channel between the world over.
Safe between the world over doesn't go in these waters. Look here. You'll see the water shoals on the island side, while the deep soundings run to the mainland.
Have any of you seen the captain today?
No, he wasn't down for dinner.
No, and he wasn't down for lunch. He hasn't left the bridge since you decided to come through the channel.
What are you driving at?
Ever since you gave him those orders yesterday to cut through these waters, he's had the jitters. There's something wrong. Yeah, I'm getting nerves myself.
Doc, what do you recommend for nerves?
Give him a shot of scotch.
Good.
Give him the whole bottle.
No, I've got nerves, too.
Here you are, Doc. Just what you need.
Well, maybe you're right.
Good evening, Captain.
Good evening, sir. May I speak with you?
Why, certainly. Go ahead.
We're heading straight for the channel between Brank Island and the mainland.
Good.
But the lights are just a bit off, according to the chart.
But charts are never up to date in this part of the Pacific. You know that.
I know, sir, but doesn't Brank Island mean anything to you?
Well, not a lot.
Well, perhaps if I could talk with Mr. Rainsford, he...
But Bob's not a sailor. He's a hunter.
He's made many of these trips. He's young, but he has judgment.
I'll call him. Oh, Bob. Bob.
What is it?
Come up here, will you?
Just a minute.
What's bothering you, Captain?
There are no more coral reef, shark-infested waters in the whole world than these.
Boy, just take a look at these. You didn't turn out so hot as a hunter, Doc, but oh, what a photographer. Say, if we'd had you to take pictures on the Sumatran trip, you might have believed my book.
If you'd had me on the Sumatran trip, you'd never had me on this one.
Say, here's a swell one of the ship, Skipper. Well, what's the matter?
These old sea dogs tell yarns to kid each other and end up believing it all themselves.
Well, I think that Mr. Rainsford should know that the channel lights aren't just in the position given on the chart.
Oh. Well, what do you think, fellas?
I think we should turn back and take the outside course.
Oh,
Turn back now.
no, it's
No.
Excelsior. We'll go ahead.
Very well, sir. It's your ship.
It was the schooner Hesperus, and she sailed the wintry sea.
Now, wait a minute, fellas. Let's talk this over. There's no use taking any chances.
Chances? That's fine talk coming from a fellow who just got through slapping tigers in the face. Here, get an eyeful of this.
And he talks about taking chances.
Here's the Doc charging the enemy with an unloaded camera. Get the expression on Doc's face, Bill.
He looks more frightened than the tiger.
He is.
Just what you have on your mind, Doc.
I'll tell you what I had on my mind. I was thinking of the inconsistency of civilization. The beast of the jungle killing just for his existence is called savage. The man killing just for sport is called civilized.
Here, here.
It's a bit contradictory, isn't it?
Now, just a minute. What makes you think it isn't just as much sport for the animal as it is for the man? Now, take that fellow right there, for instance. There never was a time when he couldn't have gotten away. But he didn't want to. He got interested in hunting me. He didn't hate me for stalking him, any more than I hated him for trying to charge me. As a matter of fact, we admired each other.
Perhaps. But would you change places with the tiger?
Well, not now.
Here comes that bad luck lady again. Third time tonight.
Here, let me shuffle him.
Wait a minute. Don't evade the issue.
Yes, come, speak up.
I asked you a question.
Yes.
You did? Oh, I forgot.
No, you didn't. I asked you if there'd be as much sport in the game if you were the tiger instead of the hunter.
Gotcha now, Bob. Well, that's something I'll never have to decide.
No?
Listen here, you fellas. This world's divided into 2 kinds of people, the hunter and the hunted. Well, luckily, I'm a hunter. Nothing can ever change that. Hang on a second.
Hello down there. Hello, engine room.
The dynamo's spoilers.
If the water ever hits those hot boilers. anybody? Nobody left but us two and that fella. Shark! Help! Look! Shark! Oh! He got me!
Hello, anybody here? Anybody around, I say? Oh, hello. Is this your house? I'm not trying to break in, but I've been in a wreck. Our yacht just sunk with all hands. I got ashore and found your place here by accident. I'm not trying to intrude, but I'm in sort of a jam. Don't you understand any English?
Ivan does not speak any language. He has the misfortune to be dumb.
Oh, hello. Are you the owner here?
Yes. Welcome to my poor fortress.
Fortress?
It once was, built by the Portuguese centuries ago. I have had the ruins restored to make my home here. I am Count Zaroff.
My name's Robert Rainsford. Glad to meet you. Very glad.
Oh, yeah. Ivan is a Cossack. I'm afraid, like all my fellow countrymen, he is a bit of a savage. Smile, Ivan. Ulidnis!
I was trying to make him understand there'd been a shipwreck in the channel.
Sure, it was me. But how appalling. And you mean to say that you were the only survivor?
Yes. I'm afraid I am.
You're certain?
Well, I'd never left the spot if I hadn't been. The swellest crowd on earth. My best friends. It's incredible.
Such things are always incredible. Death is for others, not for ourselves. That is how most of my other guests have felt.
Your other guests? You mean this has happened before?
My dear fellow, we have several survivors from the last wreck still in the house. It would seem that this island were cursed.
That's just what the captain said. Only he thought it was uninhabited.
We Cossacks find our inspiration in solitude.
Well, it's a break for me anyway.
My house is yours, sir. Oh, by the way, you want to change those wet rags immediately.
Yes. They look about the way I feel.
Yes. I have some loose hunting clothes which I keep for my guests that you can possibly get into. Od vidi Ivo v krajnju komnatu. Ivan will show you to your room.
Thank you.
You'll find a stiff drink there also.
Thanks a lot.
Proszę. All pleasure is mine.
Come in.
Ready, Rainsford?
All set.
I'm afraid we have finished dinner, but I have ordered something for you.
Thanks. I don't feel like eating.
Oh, dear, dear. Well, perhaps later. Now then, what do you say to coffee and most charming company? It is hard to forget your comrade's fate, I know, but our feminine guest is easily perturbed. If I could beg you to put a good face upon the matter, assume a cheerfulness you may not feel.
Why, sure, of course.
Thank you. Miss Trowbridge, may I present Mr. Robert Rainsford, Miss Eve Trowbridge,
How'd you do?
How do you do?
and her brother, Mr. Martin Trowbridge.
How are you, old chap? Pretty well shaken up, I guess, huh?
Coming out of it now, thanks.
We know just how it feels. Don't we, Eve?
Indeed, we do. Perhaps Mr. Rainsford would like some hot coffee.
Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Rainsford, please sit here.
Oh, thank you.
Daj gostu coffee vodka.
Vodka, that's the stuff. One shot'll dry you out quicker than all the coffee in Java. Have to toss it off, though, like this.
Now, Martin, you don't have to drink it all tonight, do you?
Don't be ridiculous, sis. We are victims of circumstance, same as Mr. Rainsford. And if anyone has a right to his liquor, it's a victim of circumstance. Isn't that so, Count?
Of course, yes.
You were in a shipwreck, too, I understand.
Yes. Our lifeboat was the only one saved. My brother and I and two sailors. The Count found us on the beach with nothing but the clothes on our backs.
Those channel lights must have been shifted. I wonder it hasn't been reported.
Well, we'll report him, just as soon as we get back to the mainland.
You see, the Count has only one launch, and that's under repair.
Russians are not the best mechanics. I'm afraid we'll have to be patient a few days longer.
That's all right with me. I feel as if I were living on borrowed time right now.
Speaking of that, perhaps now you'll tell us a little bit about who you are. Just sketchily, you know. Born, married, why I left my last job.
No. One moment, please. Mr. Rainsford need never explain who he is in my house.
No?
No, we entertain a celebrity, Miss Trowbridge.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me. Let me guess. I know. Flagpole sitter.
Oh,
I know. He wrote some books.
No, he lived some books. If I am not mistaken, this is Mr. Robert Rainsford, who hunts big game so adventurously.
Yeah? Here's to you.
I've lugged the gun around a little.
I've lugged the gun around a little. No, I have read your books. I read all books on hunting. Papirosu?
Thank you.
Only in yours have I found a sane point of view.
What do you mean, sane?
Cigarette?
Yeah, thanks.
You do not excuse what needs no excuse. Now, let me see, how did you put it? Hunting is as much a game as stud poker, only the limits are higher. You have put our case perfectly, Mr. Rainsford.
Well, then you're a hunter yourself.
We are kindred spirits. It is my one passion.
He sleeps all day and hunts all night. And what's more, Rainsford, he'll have you doing the same thing.
We'll have capital sport together, I hope.
Don't encourage him. You know, he's had our two sailors so busy chasing around the woods after flora and fauna that we haven't seen him for 3 days.
But what do you hunt here?
I'll tell you. You will be amused, I know. I have done a rare thing. I have invented a new sensation.
Yeah, and is he stingy with it?
What is this sensation, Count?
Mr. Rainsford, God made some men poets. Some he made kings, some beggars. Me he made a hunter. My hand was made for the trigger, my father told me. He was a very rich man with 250,000 acres in the Crimea and an ardent sportsman. When I was only stirrup high, he gave me my first gun.
Good for him.
My life has been one glorious hunt. It would be impossible for me to tell you how many animals I have killed. But when the revolution flamed up...
Look out.
Victory stop!
Oh, I'm so sorry. Count Zarif was so interesting, I didn't realize the danger.
Oh, it's all right now. What were you saying about the revolution, Count?
Oh, merely that I escaped with most of my fortune. Naturally, I continued to hunt all over the world. It was in Africa that the Cape Buffalo gave me this.
That must have been a close call.
Yes, it still bothers me sometimes. However, in 2 months, I was on my way to the Amazon. I'd heard that the jaguars there were unusually cunning. No. No sport at all.
Well, conditions are bad everywhere these days.
One night as I lay in my tent with this head of mine, a terrible thought crept like a snake into my brain. Hunting was beginning to bore me.
Is that such a terrible thought, Count?
It is, my dear lady, when hunting has been the whip for all other passions. When I lost my love of hunting, I lost my love of life. Of love.
Well, you seem to have stood it pretty well.
I even tried to sink myself to the level of the savage. I made myself perfect in the use of the Tartar war bow.
Tartar which?
Tartar war bow. That one up there.
That's cute.
Even to this day, I prefer to hunt with it. But alas, even that was too deadly. What I needed was not a new weapon, but a new animal.
A new animal?
Exactly.
You found one?
Yes. Here on my island, I hunt the most dangerous game.
The most dangerous game? You mean tigers?
Tigers? No. The tiger has nothing but his claws and his fangs.
I heard some queer beast howling back there along the water. Was that it?
It's no use, Rainsford. He won't tell. He won't even let you see his trophy room till he gets ready to take you on a hunt of the great what's-it.
My one secret. I keep it as a surprise for my guests against the rainy day of boredom.
Listen, old boy, you let me in on that game and I'll bet you I'd go for it. You know, Rainsford, he hasn't failed yet. If he says the thing is good, it is good. He's a judge of liquor, wizard at a contract, plays the piano, anything you want. He's a good host. And a good scout, eh, Count?
Yes.
You want me to go hunting? All right, you just say the word. We're pals. We'll have a big party, get cockeyed, and go hunting.
A completely civilized point of view.
Now, listen, I'll tell you what you do. You come to my place in the Adirondacks sometime, see? We'll have a private car, liquor and gals on the trip, and the guides will make the deers behave.
I think we'd better change the subject.
All right. Change the subject. Oh, I know. Play the piano, huh?
If you wish.
Good idea. Play the piano. Now leave it to me and I'll fix everything.
Perhaps the Count doesn't want to play.
Now, there you go. It says throwing cold water. Now, leave me alone. I know where the piano is. I'm perfectly sober.
A charming simplicity.
Completely civilized, did you say?
He talks of wine and women as a prelude to the hunt. We barbarians know that it is after the chase and then only that man revels.
It does seem a bit like cocktails before breakfast.
Of course, yes. You know the saying of the Ogandi chieftains. Hunt first the enemy, then the woman.
That's the savage's idea everywhere.
It is the natural instinct. What is woman? Even such a woman as this, until the blood is quickened by the kill.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. You Americans. One passion builds upon another. Kill, then love. When you have known that, you will have known ecstasy.
Oh, Martin.
Introducing Zaroff, the keyboard king, in his Branca Island hour. Come on, Count, now you show him.
What do you suggest?
Oh, just a good tune, but not highbrow like last night. Just a good tune, see?
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hunting dogs.
Keep your voice low and listen. It isn't true about the launch needing repairs. I had it leave the boathouse last night. It returned this morning.
You mean he's keeping you from returning to the mainland?
Yes.
Well, perhaps he enjoys the company of two very charming people.
Two, maybe. There were 4 of us a week ago. The other 2 have disappeared.
What do you mean?
One night after dinner, the Count took one of our sailors down to see his trophy room. At the foot of those stone steps.
That iron door?
Yes. 2 nights later, he took the other there. Neither has been seen since.
Have you asked him about them?
He says they've gone hunting. Oh, be careful. He's watching us. Will you smile as if I'd said something funny?
Now, look here, you must be mistaken.
Not
if
now. Applaud.
Atta boy.
Thank you.
What did I tell you? Smack some in ivory, eh, Rainsford?
It was splendid. Don't stop, please.
Now, I'm afraid we have failed to hold the full attention of our audience.
Well, I expect it's rather difficult for Mr. Rainsford to concentrate on anything after all he's been through.
Oh, my dear lady, you are pleading for yourself. I can see the drooping of those lovely eyes. Excuse me. Provadeo naver.
You know, the Count's worse than a family governess. Every night he sends us off to bed like naughty children.
Oh, no, my dear. No. Charming children.
There. You hear that, sis? Now trot along upstairs and don't bother us grown-ups anymore.
Well, after that, I guess I'll have to go. Good night, Mr. Rainsford.
Good night. We'll be seeing each other at breakfast.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sis. We won't be seeing each other at breakfast.
Oh, my dear Rainsford, I have been most inconsiderate. You must be feeling the need of sleep, too.
Yes, I am just about all in.
Then Ivan will show you to your room. Off to you come the door.
Oh, Martin, turn in early, please.
Don't worry. The Count will take care of me, all right.
Indeed I shall.
Well, good night.
Good night, sir. Sleep well.
Oh, well, here's long life.
A long life. Tell me, Mr. Trowbridge, are you also fatigued?
Tired? Me? You know I'm not. You know, Rainsford, we two are just alike. Up all night and sleep all day. Well, good night. Well, what are we gonna do, huh? What's the big idea?
I thought that perhaps tonight you would like to see my trophy room.
Your trophy room?
I'm sure you will find it most interesting.
Say, that's a great idea. Oh, now we're pals. No more secrets now, huh? We'll make a night of it.
I hope so, Mr. Trowbridge.
Just you and I, pals. We'll have fun together, huh?
Precisely, yes. Fun together.
Ah, boy, County, old boy, County.
Please let me come in. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I'm frightened.
What was it, those dogs?
My brother. I've been listening for hours for him to come upstairs. I've just gone to his room. He isn't there.
Well, he's probably somewhere with the Count.
That's just what I'm afraid of. Count Zaroff is planning something about my brother and me.
You don't really think anything's happened to your brother?
Oh, I don't know, but we've got to find him. Won't you help me?
Well, of course I'll help you. Where do you think he's gone?
Where did the others go?
The iron door. I'll meet you downstairs in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
That's queer. It's unlocked.
Zaroff, he's coming down.
Back here, quick.
Хорошо. Приема вниз. Положи его на скамейку.
Where's my brother?
Trowbridge!
Where's my brother? You killed him. You killed my brother. You!
Dennis! Why, you... Was waiting here, you're not there. Come, my dear Rainsford. I don't want to treat you like my other guests. You and I, we are hunters.
So that's your most dangerous game.
Yes, my dear fellow, I intended to tell you last night, but you know Miss Trowbridge.
You hunted him like an animal.
I know what you think, but you are wrong. He was sober and fit for sport when I sent him out. An hour or two strapped up in here brought him to his senses.
You raving maniac.
Yes. I'll take it off. When we finish, the stupid fellow tried to escape through the swamps of Fog Hollow. You see, when I first began stocking my island, many of my guests thought I was joking. So I established this trophy room. I always bring them here before the hunt. An hour with my trophies, and they usually do their best to keep away from me.
Where do you get these poor devils?
Providence provided my island with dangerous reefs.
But there are light buoys to mark the safe channel.
They do not always mark it.
You shifted them.
Precisely right. Too bad your yacht should have suffered. But at least it brought us together.
You take half-drowned men from ships you've wrecked and drive them out to be hunted.
I give them every consideration. Good food, exercise, everything to get them in splendid shape.
To be shot down in cold blood.
Oh, no. Oh, I admit with this annoying fellow. But usually I give them hunting clothes, a woodsman's knife, and a full day's start. Why, I even wait until midnight to give them the full advantage of the dark. And if one eludes me only till sunrise, he wins the game.
Suppose he refuses to be hunted.
Ivan is such an artist with these. Invariably, Mr. Rainsford, invariably they choose to hunt.
And when they win?
To date, I have not lost. Oh, Rainsford, you'll find this game worth playing. When the next ship arrives, we'll have gorgeous sport together.
You murdering rat, I'm a hunter, not an assassin.
Come, Rainsford, say you will hunt with me.
Hunt men?
Say you'll hunt with me. No.
What do you think I am?
One I fear who dare not follow his own convictions to their logical conclusion. I'm afraid in this instance, Mr. Rainsford, you may have to follow them.
What do you mean?
I shall not wait for the next ship. 4 o'clock. The sun is just rising. Ostekniki, Narushniki. Come, Mr. Rainsford. Let us not waste time. Ivan. Yengiz. Your fangs and claws, Mr. Rainsford. Ivan.
Oh, what are they going to do?
I'm going to be hunted.
No, Miss Trowbridge. Outdoor chess. His brain against mine. His woodcraft against mine. And the prize?
The prize?
You may recall what I said last evening. Only after the kill does man know the true ecstasy of love.
Suppose you lose.
If I do not, what shall I say, find you, between midnight and sunrise tomorrow, freedom for both of you.
I'm going with you.
No. He'll kill you, too.
Not at all. One does not kill a female animal. If you lose, I can easily recapture her alive.
All right. I'll take her with me, then. We'll set him a trail he'll remember.
It's only fair to advise you against Fog Hollow. Outdoor chests, Mr. Rainsford.
Don't lose your nerve. We beat this thing.
The others didn't.
We will. Come on, let's get going.
It seems as though we've come miles.
Yeah. Well, 3 hours doesn't take you far in this jungle. Come on, let's keep going. Come on. Just a little more of this, then easy downhill going. Soon be safe. No wonder he was so sure. This island's no bigger than a deer park.
Oh, Bob!
Come on now.
What are we going to do?
We didn't each live through a shipwreck to let this crazy manhunter worry us.
I shouldn't have come with you. You might beat him if you were alone.
Alone? And leave you here with that savage? Not a chance. Now, we've got to think of something to worry him.
Oh, you'd never get near him. He'd shoot on sight.
Weapons aren't everything in the jungle. Say, did you notice that leaning tree down there?
The one we just passed?
Yes. Come on, I want to show you something. You see? If that supporting branch were cut away, this fallen tree would make a perfect melee deadfall.
A melee deadfall? What's that?
A man-killing contraption the natives use. It'll stop that madman, all right. Trouble is, it takes quite a few hours to build.
He said he wouldn't follow till midnight.
That's right. If you help me, I think we'll have time. Come on, we'll cut some strong vines. There. Almost ready. This bracelet of yours makes a fine guide ring for my necktie.
He'll have been on his way almost an hour now.
Look out. Don't touch that trip line. You'll have a 2-ton tree down on your back. Jungle wood's as heavy as iron.
Will it really work?
Never known a living thing to get by one yet. Look here. You touch that trip line, you'll pull that trigger free. Once that's loose, there's nothing to keep the log from coming down. It'll crash down and kill anything underneath it.
Look.
We're ready. Let them come. Give me that knife.
not, Rainsford. Why prolong it? I'll not bungle this shot. You'll never even feel it. But surely you don't think that anyone who has hunted leopards would follow you into that ambush? Oh, very well. If you choose to play the leopard, I shall hunt you like a leopard.
Maybe it's a trick.
Where did he go?
He's playing with us, like a cat with a mouse.
What do you mean?
You heard him say he'd hunt us as he'd hunt a leopard. It means he's gone for his high-powered rifle.
His rifle. Oh, Bob, we must get away from here. Run, quick.
Eve, wait. No, I tell you, no!
Don't stop. Don't.
Wait. That's Fog Hollow ahead.
Fog Hollow.
The swamp where he caught the others. We haven't a chance of keeping ahead of him there.
But there's no place else to run.
That's just what he's counting on. We've got 2 hours till dawn. We've got to use our brains instead of our legs.
And he'll have his rifle.
And we'll have a man trap. Look.
Oh. Makes me dizzy.
Cover this over. When Mr. Zarro falls down there, he'll be all through hunting. Quick, gather some leaves and grass. I'll cut some branches.
Very good, Rainsford. Very good. You have not won yet. Look at your watch. Are you looking at it?
Still half an hour till sunrise.
Swamp or no swamp, we can keep ahead of him that long.
As you are doubtless saying, the odds are against me. You have made my rifle useless in the fog. You cannot blame I overcome that obstacle.
Animals I cornered. Now I know how they felt.
Ahmed, Miss Trowbridge, bring her here. Now. My dear Rainsford, I congratulate you. You have beaten me.
Not yet.
Oh, but of course I insist. Why, you're not even wounded.
You hit the dog, not me. I took a chance and went over with him.
A clever trick, Rainsford. I cheerfully admit defeat. Here's the key of the boathouse. The door is in the trophy room. You and Miss Trowbridge may leave at once.
No!
The boat, quick!
Good day, sir. Good day. What can I do for you, sir?
Shave, please.
Shave, sir? Certainly. Lovely day, sir.
Quite nice. Quite.
Toby. Quite comfortable, sir?
Quite.
Getting a bit thin on the top, sir? We make up this tonic on the premises, sir. Have done for 100 years. Just a few drops.
No, thanks.
Skin looks very tender, sir. There's only one brand of safety razor blade.
Keep 'em.
Certainly, sir.
I suppose you want to sell that too?
That is one thing I will never sell.
Not to me, you won't.
This is no joking matter, sir. That man was the greatest exponent of the razor the world has ever known. He was a true artist. And it was on this very spot over 100 years ago that he proved it to the world. His was the strangest story ever told in the days of sailing ships, the Pool of London, narrow streets, dark alleys.
All aboard, sir. Righto, Pelly. Give him a hand stowing. You mean aboard the ship, sir? Well, of course. Why not? Oh, hadn't I better stay here with you, sir?
Joanna.
Ma.
Oh, it's wonderful seeing you again. I was afraid that last night's goodbye was...
Oh, I couldn't let you go without another word.
Your father. Does he know you're here?
Heaven forbid. What have you done to put him so against you, Ma?
Well, it's what I haven't done. It's because I'm poor, because my parents are poor, because I'm just mate in one of his own ships. Why, he despises me.
Hello, Pearlie.
Hello, Nan.
You know, I had a fortune told yesterday by Crystal Gazer.
Did you now? Oh, what did you see?
Your face.
Oh, perhaps it was something that had got into the glass.
Ah, Mr. Todd. Come to bid farewell to the Golden Oak?
Yes, sir. There's scarcely a man jack of that crew I haven't had in my barber's chair. Brown beards, black beards, red beards. I've polished them all out.
Ah, but it's when they return from their journeyings that they need you more.
Yes, I make them spick and span to meet their sweethearts. Lovely lot of throats,
The lot of them. Beautiful throats, rich and mellow to a razor.
You're an artist, you are, Mr. Todd.
I love my work.
Oh, here's a list of things I want you to bring me back.
1 parrot, 5 pounds of tea, 30 yards of red Japanese silk. Here, where do I put all these things during the voyage?
Oh, in your bunk.
Then how can I sleep?
Oh, I won't know that till I'm married to.
Well, there seems to be plenty of money in the barber's business. Looks to you anyway, Mr. Todd. Good day.
Money. Money. If only I had money. What about the money to pay for all these things? Now, if I were a fine gentleman, it's money that makes the gentleman.
Hey, for a gentleman!
Father.
Lummy, the governor. I'm off.
Oh, give us a kiss before you go.
I'll add it to the list.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing here?
I asked Joanna here to say goodbye.
Father, I came here because I...
Quiet, girl. Get aboard your ship, sir. You know my answer to you.
But I love Joanna.
How dare you argue with me? Get aboard, I say, or I'll have you thrown there.
Please go, Ma.
Goodbye, Joanna.
I'll have something to say to you when I get home tonight.
Oh, sir.
Stop sniveling and get in. All right.
You see, Mr. Oakley, I was right.
You were, Todd. How did you know she would be coming here?
I guess, Mr. Oakley. It's a shame that a fine girl like your daughter should throw herself away.
She will not throw herself away. Mr. Todd, I'm very indebted to you.
Mr. Oakley, when will it be convenient to discuss again the matter we broached the other day?
Ah, yes, about your taking up a share in the new ship.
To the tune of, shall we say, £15,000?
£15,000?
Maybe I can find a little more.
Well, 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 and all the mess from beards and whiskers.
The fruits of my razor. So many I've polished off.
Mr. Todd, are you dining anywhere tonight?
At home, sir. Only at home.
Will you try a cut of mutton and boiled fowl with me?
Mr. Oakley, you are too kind.
Fiddlesticks, I shall be glad of your company. Tonight, then.
With pleasure.
There, Miss Joanna. Now, the months will fly past and I'll soon be back.
I hope so.
Well, there's nothing to cry about.
No.
Ah, Mr. Beadle, so you've brought me another apprentice. And a nice little boy, too.
The city master says this is the last boy he's going to send you. You've had 7, and they've all disappeared.
Boys will be boys.
But you get a guinea from the parish funds for each boy. 7 guineas in 7 weeks.
And this is the 8th.
And the last.
Make yourselves at home. And now to business. What's your name, my little man?
Tobias Ragg, orphan found on the steps of St. Dunstan's. Now, before you are bound in apprenticeship, the city master wishes to know if it is of your own free will.
Yes, sir.
We both bear witness that the lad is willing. And count yourself a very lucky little boy. The city master has ordered me to keep a special eye on you.
Isn't he a lucky little boy? A special eye from the good Beadle and a penny a day from me.
Now, if you'll sign here, Mr. Todd, this guinea is yours.
I'm obliged to you, Beadle.
Well, good day, Tobias. Good day, Mr. Todd.
Good day, worthy Beadle.
I should like to polish him off. Come here, Tobias. Are you afraid of me, Tobias?
No. No, not really, sir.
Take care you don't give me cause to make you afraid of me.
I'll try to do my best, sir.
That's a good boy. The first duty of a barber's boy is to keep a still tongue in his head.
Yes, sir.
I knew a nice little barber's boy once who had his tongue cut out for letting it wag too much.
I won't talk, sir.
No. And if any of my customers should give you a penny, what would you do with it, Tobias?
I don't know, sir.
You'll give all the pennies to me and I'll keep them for you till you become a rich, rich man. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Tobias?
Yes, sir.
What would you buy if you were a rich, rich man?
One of those pies that look so good in the shop next door.
Oh, well, here's a penny. Go and buy yourself a pie and pretend you are a rich, rich man.
Thank you, sir.
Well, my little man, what's for you?
Please, ma'am, may I have a penny pie?
Certainly you can, if you have a penny. What a nice new penny. Where did you get it?
Mr. Todd, my new master, ma'am.
So you are Mr. Todd's new apprentice?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you, my dear?
Just 12, ma'am.
Sweet child. You shall have a special big pie.
Thank you, ma'am.
Why this visit?
I was anxious. I hadn't seen you all day.
No, I've been busy. Busy at the quayside.
No shipper's berth today.
The Golden Hope has just sailed.
Oh, Stephen Oakley's ship. Why the interest?
I may be joining him in partnership.
Hoity-toity, going up in the world.
Well, it's better than going down.
Many that go up come down quickly enough from the gallows.
By that, I suppose you mean...
I could hang you, Sweeney, with one word like that.
And I could hang you, my precious, without that. If we must hang together, better alive than dead.
Why all the care?
I'm dining with Mr. Oakley tonight.
And wish to give his women folk a treat.
Then you are jealous.
Only for what you do with your money. Our money. The money I have helped you to get, and I'll not have that squandered on a...
What are you doing here? Spying?
No, sir. But I thought as I'd finished my...
Why do you stare at me?
Please, ma'am. I left you in your shop and I was wondering how you...
Come here, Tobias. There was once an apprentice to a barber whose eyes were too big, whose tongue was too long, who saw too much and spoke of what he saw. So his master took his sharpest razor and stropped it well.
No, sir, please. I promise I won't say a word. Not even to the beadle.
I shouldn't like you to be a little boy like that, Tobias.
I'm sure I look a fright. I hope I look a fright. Why should I dress up for Mr. Todd?
Oh, Miss Joanna, you look more lovely than ever.
Such flattery, Nan. For shame on you.
Well, look for yourself.
You'd win the heart of any girl.
No one could help losing their heart to you, miss. I suppose Father has some business deal with Mr. Todd, and I've got to be sweet to him. Mr. Todd. Horrid vulgar pig, that's what he is. A pig. Miss Joanna.
I brought the figures right up to date, sir. Why has the cost of building this ship gone so high? Forgive me, sir, but I've always thought the project a little ambitious. Ambitious? Of course it's ambitious. Is it a crime to own the finest ship afloat? I tell you, Savage, I'll finish that ship if it costs me every penny I have.
Now, why not be a little nice to Mr. Todd? That'll please your father. Or perhaps make him think a little more kindly of Mr. Mark, for your sake.
The contractors are demanding an immediate further advance of £5,000. And I'm afraid, sir, that's not possible. You haven't got it.
Mr. Todd, sir.
Mr. Todd, I'm delighted to see you. I'm afraid I was still hard at work. This is Mr. Savage, my secretary, who has just come from the shipyard. What a wonder that new ship of mine will be, Mr. Todd. Glass of sherry, sir.
Thank
you. Light or dark?
Dark, if I may be so bold.
And you've chosen right.
Your health, sir.
Ah, Joanna, you've met Mr. Todd before, haven't you?
You are looking more lovely than ever tonight, Miss Joanna.
You're very kind, sir.
She takes after me in looks and her mother in willfulness.
Dinner is served, sir.
Will you take my daughter in, Mr. Todd?
Delighted.
Well, Captain Stevenson, many thanks. A very pleasant voyage, sir. A deuced pleasant voyage.
Well, we've done our best to make you comfortable, Mr. Finlay.
And you've succeeded, Captain. A devilish quick voyage, sir. 3 months from Bombay to London. Remarkable. Remarkable.
Yes, sir. These fast clippers of ours make the world seem smaller every day.
Yes, but it's grand to be home again. Oh, may I ask you to distribute this amongst the crew? A little appreciation.
You're very generous, sir.
Yes, I can afford to be. No need for me to work again. Well, good day, Captain, and thanks again.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to England, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Pleasant voyage, I hope.
Deuced pleasant.
Permit me to present my car.
Mr. Sweeney Todd, Barber of Fleet Street.
At your service, sir. After months at sea, what could be more pleasant than a haircut, shave, shampoo, and a general polish?
Begad, I believe you're right. Is your shop nearby?
But round the corner, sir.
Then begad, Mr. Sweeney Todd, you shall polish me off as you put it. Here, take my traps to the Spotted Horse Hotel, Charing Cross. I'll follow in half an hour. Now, Mr. Todd, I'm at your service.
No, sir. I'm at your service.
What a nuisance hair is. You'll be in a bad way without it. And so will Mr. Sweeney Todd, I fancy. How I dread that carriage drive with him this afternoon. I've a mind to say I'm ill. We can't do that, miss. Now, think you'll be warm enough. I have 1, 2, 3 petticoats. Oh, you should never take the air in less than 5. Now, oh, you've neglected to put on your red flannel. Now, that should go on first, next to pantaloons. Should I wear the chest protector, do you think? Oh, without a doubt, miss. Why, you had our bath only yesterday.
Yes, but some people say a beard is a protection against the cold.
Nonsense, sir. A beard is an unnecessary appendage.
Why do we have them?
To provide employment for honest workers. This is my boy, a charity lad. Come here, Tobias. Just tell the gentleman where you'd be if there were no beards.
Back in the workhouse, I expect, sir.
There's your answer, sir. No, sir. Not there, sir. Sit here, sir. My special chair, sir. For gentlemen like you, sir. From abroad, sir. Who desire an extra polishing off. Just place your bag beside you, sir. It will be quite safe. There, sir. Been long from England, sir?
12 years.
Your friends and relations will be glad to see you back.
I've no relations that I trouble about, or who trouble about me.
And friends?
None in this country.
All alone in the world, as one might say.
Well, not quite. I've brought plenty of companions with me who'll make me friends wherever I go.
I understand, sir. Golden companions with the head of His Majesty on them, eh?
They're the best friends a man can have.
You are wise to keep them with you, sir. Banks can't be trusted. Is the soap to your liking?
Most delicately perfumed.
And the water hot enough?
Perfect.
Then we'll see if my razor will suit you. Tobias, go and see the time by the clock at St. Dunstan's.
It wants 5 minutes to 12 o'clock, sir.
Oh, then you must be hungry, my little man. See, here's a penny for you. Go and ask Mrs. Lovett to give you one of her largest pies.
Thank you, sir.
And you need not return until you've eaten it all. See if you can make it last you while you walk to Charing Cross and back.
Thank you, sir.
You've a soft heart, Mr. Todd.
Tender as a chicken, sir. It's my one weakness. Now see the welcome Sweeney Todd gives to gentlemen who return from foreign parts.
There, my dear. This one will last you to Whitehall and back.
Thank you, ma'am. Good day.
Good day, dear. Who is it this time?
Nabob from the Indies.
Is he,
I polished him up upstairs.
I like them from the Indies. They generally have so much money.
Yes, generally. He's a fine figure of a man. You're in luck.
I wonder.
Well, I've done my part. Now it's your turn.
Aren't you going to help me?
No, I can't stop now. You can give me my half share later. I have to meet another customer.
In your best clothes, too.
Well, if I don't dress well, how can I attract the best customer?
Or the best girls.
Rubbish. I don't shave girls.
But you shave their fathers.
What are you talking about?
Stephen Oakley and his daughter. Do you think I don't know? Take care, Sweeney.
There. I'll be back soon, and I'll give you a hand.
Don't worry. I'll manage.
I beg your pardon?
I didn't say anything.
You leave me to make all the conversation.
I like to be quiet sometimes.
Pretty, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely. Where did it come from?
The East Indies. It was left to me by a customer.
Pearls, rubies, and sapphires.
Pearls for your teeth, rubies for your lips, and sapphires for your eyes.
Oh, sir, you mustn't.
But it's for you. I have your father's permission.
But to accept a gift like this from you,
Would inspire me with a little hope.
And that's why they call it the Cape of Good Hope. And now we pass it, I suppose we ain't got no hopes. I have, Pearlie.
Ah, you're different. Your girl will love, honor, and obey you.
Well, won't your girl?
Well, I suppose we'll both do the loving and I shall do the honor and obeying.
Snowdrop.
Yes, Master Patterson?
Listen. They've started at last, Snowdrop.
Yes, Master. Medicine men tell him you're a big jar of firewater.
Aye, the drunken hound. I thought they'd been quiet all along. You slip away to the water's edge. The big ship should be here any time now.
Golden Hope, Master?
Aye, the Golden Hope. Get aboard somehow. Tell the captain to send help.
Oh, you're a pessimist, Pearlie.
Yes and no. Yes, because you may be right, and no, because I don't know what it means.
Come on, get him there. Come on, bring him in board here. I got him.
Get him, all right, party.
Get him a ton of rum, Jim.
All right.
Yes?
Cafe chief try kill him. Send me, tell you. Help.
And Mr. Patterson hold out?
Little while. You'll be quick.
Bosun. Aye, aye, sir. Serve out cutlasses and muskets to a boat's crew. We're going ashore. Aye, aye, sir.
Let me go, sir.
Why, do you want all the fun, Mr. Inglestry? I shall take command.
Well, I'll come with you, sir.
But you've a sweetheart at home. Perhaps she doesn't want to lose you.
Well, you've got a wife, sir.
Well, perhaps she wouldn't mind losing me. Still, all right. We'll go together. Come on.
Comfortable there, old man? Now, let's see where you're here. You want a drink of water?
Yeah. Inside my shirt, a bag. I made it myself.
This?
Aye. Open it.
Huh?
Aye. I dinna ken what they're worth, but they're what I've worked for all these years. They're no use to me now. Will you do me a service in exchange?
I want no exchange.
Bury me 3 points north by northwest. That's where Rothsay lies.
What is it? The captain, sir. What do you mean he's...
3 points north by northwest.
Any orders, sir? Yes. Get the compass from the boat. Tell the man to dig a grave for 2 fellow countrymen. 3 points north of northwest. Aye, aye, sir. Three points north of northwest.
Heaven forbid that I should appear an ungrateful man. The weeks and months slip by until I feel a little impatient.
But I don't understand, Todd. You're getting the interest on your money, aren't you?
Yes, but I was not thinking so much of the monetary interest.
What do you mean?
I mean Joanna is persistent in her lack of it.
You're so much older than she is. Spring and autumn, as the saying goes.
Those are often the happiest of marriages.
The Golden Hope will soon be home, and then you can have your money in full.
Do you suggest I await the return of the Golden Hope before I speak to your daughter?
My dear fellow, there's nothing to prevent your asking her now.
But there's much to prevent her accepting me. And there'll be still more to prevent it if the Golden Hope is here.
Then what do you suggest?
That you pay me the money you owe me.
But I can't, Todd. You know I can't.
Then the new ship becomes my sole property.
But you can't. You wouldn't.
I can. Have you read our little agreement? But I wouldn't if you were my father-in-law.
But I can't answer for my daughter. The girl has a will of her own.
Then you must cultivate some powers of persuasion. She's a good girl, a dutiful daughter. And when she knows her father's future is in her own hands, at so small a cost to her, can you doubt what her answer will be?
Mr. Todd, you place me on the rack.
No, sir, it is you who place me on the rack. I am the offended one, sir. And it is up to you now to make amends.
Oh, Mr. Todd, I thought you'd gone.
But just about to take my leave. Your father and I had so much to talk about. It delayed me. Tomorrow at the latest, I must have your answer. Then I shall know what steps to take.
What's the matter, Father?
A little worried, my dear, that's all.
About the new ship?
I'm afraid I've bitten off more than I could chew.
What'll happen if you can't complete her?
She passes out of my hands into his.
Mr. Todd?
Yes. And I shall still owe him more than I can pay.
What will happen then?
I'm afraid all this must go.
And you, Father?
I expect I shall have to go with it.
You mean he can send you to prison? Oh, can't anything be done? Haven't you anything you can realize money on?
No, nothing.
Congratulations.
On what?
You look at least 2 years younger. In fact, you scarcely look a day older than her own father.
You've heard of my good fortune, eh?
Bad news travels fast.
Oh, I should like to polish you off.
I know you would. But you daren't.
Golden Hope.
What about the Golden Hope?
She's coming up the river with the tide. A postboy told me. He passed her by the Isle of Dogs not an hour ago. Please, sir, you're hurting me.
You're a good boy, Tobias. You shall have a penny.
Thank you, sir.
A little later on.
Couldn't I come ashore with you, sir? Carry a bag or something? What are you so anxious to go ashore for? Well, you seem to forget. The captain's job's finished once he's berthed his ship. The supercargo's job's only just begun. But get on with it, man. I'll tell her what an important fellow you are nowadays.
Pardon me, but isn't it Captain Mark Ingerstry?
I'm afraid you overstated, sir. Acting captain.
Let's hope your new rank may be confirmed, sir. Not only for your sake, but for the lady as well.
You seem very well informed, sir.
There's not much escapes me. Doubtless you know me by name.
Sweeney Todd, Barber of Fleet Street. Why, of course I know the name, and I'm very pleased to have made your acquaintance. And now, if you'll excuse me, sir.
On wings of love, if I might use the expression.
Well, perhaps you're right.
You should look your best, Captain. Don't you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you should. Don't be shy. It won't take a minute.
Well, the quicker you are, the better I'll be pleased.
No, sir, no. The better I shall be pleased.
Oh, Miss Joanna. Oh, such good news. What is it, Nan? The Golden Hope is in. And Mr. Mark and my Pearlie are safe and sound. Mark. Oh, but you don't understand, miss. Everything's all right. Mr. Mark's been made captain, my Pearlie's supercargo, and Mr. Mark's a rich man, so you'll be able to get married. Oh, it isn't true. It can't be true. Who told you? It is true. Everybody's talking about it.
You're handy for the key here, Mr. Todd.
I'm handy for most things, Captain. When I've finished with you, you won't know yourself.
Well, I hope Miss Oakley will know me.
That's a good one. I couldn't have said it better myself. Come inside, sir.
Right.
Come inside. Do not sit there, sir. My chair is waiting for you.
Okay.
Successful voyage, Captain?
More than successful. My future is made.
You're a lucky man. Successful trading, eh?
Know anything about pearls?
A little.
Well, have a look at these. They were given me by a dying man.
I wish it were my fortune to meet such a man.
You may do. You never know your fate.
You're quite right, sir. You never know your fate.
And fate has made me the happiest man in the world. Nothing can stand in my way now.
Oh, no rival or anything?
Not the least chance of it.
Then you are indeed a lucky man. You have a beautiful throat for a razor, sir. Beautiful.
You should know, Mr. Todd.
I do. Finished, Tobias? Yes, sir. Come here, Tobias. Here's a penny. Go and ask Mrs. Lover to give you one of our biggest pies. One that will last you to Aldgate Pump and back.
Thank you, sir.
Why do you lock the door?
I only attend to one customer at a time, sir. And as you're in a hurry, I must give you my whole attention. Lie back, sir. Lie back. I'll soon polish you off. What are you doing, spying again?
No, sir. Mrs. Lovett's shop is closed, sir.
Oh, there's the penny I gave you.
Yes, sir.
That's a good boy. And that's what little boys get who don't know what they're told. What are you doing here? Why is your shop closed?
I thought you had a customer.
Have you seen him?
No.
You swear that?
Of course I swear.
Strange.
Very strange. Some sailors fall like cats on their feet.
Who told you he was a sailor?
Your best customers always are, aren't they?
If he gets away, we're lost.
Perhaps he found the secret way.
How could he?
The catch is loose. Sometimes it opens on its own.
Oh.
Can you see anything?
No, it's as dark as pitch. Give me that candle.
Are you going right through?
Yes.
Very wise. Nothing like making sure. Well?
No sign of him. Expect he's safely back on the Golden Hope by now.
The Golden Hope, Mark Ingastry's ship.
I believe you knew it was he.
How could I? Mark Ingastry. Oh, then you had a double reason to.
The sooner you learn to keep your mouth closed, the safer you'll be.
The course of true love never did run smooth, so they say. I've heard he's returned a very rich man.
Maybe, but he left here a pauper. I saw to that.
Oh.
He'll have as much chance with Oakley's daughter now as he had before he sailed. He'll find it best to make himself scarce.
And where's my share of what you took from him?
Don't worry. You'll get it.
My head. My head.
Shh! Don't make a sound. He may return at any moment. Lie still where you are, and when it's dark, I'll see that you get away.
Mark,
My dear.
where have you been? What kept you from me?
Listen, Joanna. I left the ship the moment it was berthed. I couldn't come to you soon enough to tell you of my wonderful fortune and how rich I was. But on the way, I stole a few moments at a barber in Fleet Street.
Sweeney Todd?
Yes, that's the man. Why, do you know him?
Yes. But go on.
Well, I was sitting in his chair. He knew I was in a hurry because I told him all about you.
You told him?
Well, of course, darling, why not?
Oh, nothing.
Well, all of a sudden, the chair tilted and I was flung into blackness. I must have crashed into the cellar below.
I never remembered anything more until a woman who I'd never seen before helped me out of an old bin through a hole in the wall of a bakehouse. I stumbled along a passage, and at last I found myself in the porch of St. Dunstan's Church.
Oh, Mark, that dreadful man. He would have murdered you. I know he would.
Yes, well, he's robbed me of everything that I had. I'm in no better position now to talk to your father than I was 6 months ago.
Well, my father, too, is in terrible trouble. This same Sweeney Todd can throw him into prison and threatens to do so unless I... Who's there?
I thought I heard voices. Are you all right?
Yes, Father, I'm all right.
Good night, dear.
Good night, Father. Oh, let's go, dear.
Listen, Joanna, I'll get even with this man. I'll have him arrested as a thief and a murderer.
But who will believe you? You say you remember nothing. You must have proof of what he did.
Yes, I must, but I'll get it. There is a way, but I'll need help.
Oh, let me.
No. This will be dangerous. Listen, can you get hold of Pearlie?
Well, Nan will know where he is.
Well, tell him to meet me at the old warehouse on the quay. I'll be there.
Mark, take care. For my sake.
I promise you I will. And when we've got this man under lock and key, I'll get those jaws if I have to pull that shot down to do it.
Good morning, Mr. Todd. Good morning, Mr. Parsons. So you received my note, eh?
I did. And what is it this time? Not that I fancy I shall be able to buy. The market in trinkets is very poor. And I have not yet disposed of the last consignment that you received from abroad.
Oh, then I'm wasting your time and mine.
Oh, my time is of no value. You don't appear to have much on hand yourself.
Well, shall we get to business?
By all means. And what is it you have to dispose of?
Pearls.
Pearls. Oh, no market for them. The fashion in settings has changed.
But these are not set.
Oh, straight from abroad.
I don't inquire from you what you do with the goods you buy from me. Why inquire where I get them?
Why, to be sure, that is the basis of our business contract. And may I see these pearls?
Certainly.
Hang on, Pearlie. How do I look?
You look exactly like an old country farmer, but you still sound like Mr. Mark.
Aye, I do, I know. Well, we'll soon put a stop to that.
That's fine, sir.
Come on, get your things on. Yes, sir. Match so beautifully. The sizes graduate so evenly. In the open market, they would fetch a handsome price.
Oh, that's splendid news.
Yes, you recollect I said the open market. We are behind closed doors.
Certainly. Under the circumstances, what do you suggest?
5,000?
You'll have to do better than that, Mr. Parsons.
With pleasure, Mr. Todd. Shall we say 7,000?
You are easier this morning, Mr. Parsons.
No, sir. You are easier.
Have you the money on you?
The question is, if you have the money on you.
Meaning?
I consider £7,000 a very small amount for you to pay me to remove the evidence against you.
Evidence? What evidence?
A certain sea captain, who shall be nameless, arrived at the docks yesterday. He was seen to enter this shop, but never to leave. He had a bag of pearls, Mr. Todd. I'll take the 7,000 in gold, if it's all the same to you.
You are humorous this morning, Mr. Parsons.
Now, the fine weather brightens our senses.
You mind waiting while I laugh?
By all means, don't cut it short for me.
Won't you take a chair while I have my laugh out?
No, Mr. Todd, I will stand and laugh with you.
I pray you, sir. Take a seat.
Beg you, sir, to take your hands off me. I see you have had your laugh out. Now let us get to business.
What do you suggest?
I will take the pearls with me and 7,000 golden sovereigns, or...
Or what?
I'll tell all that I know.
And what do you know?
Firstly, I will tell the landlord of the Spotted Horse why Mr. Finlay did not arrive to collect his luggage. Secondly, I will tell the city master why you had 8 apprentices in 8 weeks. And thirdly, I will tell Mr. Stephen Oakley...
And what will you tell him?
I will tell him what happened to the captain of the Golden Hope after he left the quay. And then...
be this Sweeney Todd shop?
Yes, sir. Do you wish to go in?
So do you, I take it. Didn't you want to come in?
I work here, sir, so I have to come in. But I don't wish to.
Oh, and why not?
Because I'm afraid, sir. Afraid of the whole place.
Afraid? Why?
I don't know, sir. Sometimes I think that he...
What do you think?
No, sir, I mustn't say. If I did, Mr. Todd said he would cut my tongue out with one of his razors.
Cut your tongue out? What for?
Because he thought I was spying on him while he was shaving a sea captain.
Sea captain, eh? And were you spying?
No, sir, on my honor. He sent me out to buy a pie. He always does after I finish lathering his customers.
Oh. And when you return, the customers are always gone, eh?
Yes, sir. How did you know?
And after you finish lathering me, he'll send you out to buy another pie, eh?
Yes, I expect so.
We'll soon find a fence who doesn't know as much as he did. When anybody knows too much, the better like that.
I agree.
When he sends you out today, how'd you like never to come back?
But what would become of me, sir?
Can you read this address?
Miss Oakley, Finsbury Pavement.
Take that to Miss Oakley and wait there.
Who shall I say sent me?
Say a stranger who put his mark there. Well, if you just say Mark, she'll understand.
Mark, sir?
Yes, Mark. This barber was recommended to me as one who would give you the closest shave.
That's true, Father. Not only the closest shave, but I promise to polish you off quicker than any other barber in London. Will you take a chair, sir?
Thank you.
No, not there, sir. The light is better here.
Just as you say, Mr. Todd. I can see you are an enthusiast. Every man to his own trade, I say.
I love my work, sir. And you sold the lot?
Aye, I didn't know. Every beast as I took to market. Grand prices, too.
You must have made a lot of money.
Over 400 guineas.
Hurry up, Tobias. Finished, Tobias?
Yes, sir.
Good. And here's a penny for you. You've been a good boy and deserve a little rest. Go and ask Mrs. Lovett to give you one of her biggest pies. One that'll last you to St. Pancras Church and back.
Thank you, sir.
He's a good boy, that, sir. I think he'll go far.
I hope so, I'm sure.
Now, sir, if you're quite comfortable, I'll polish you off. Let me down, quick! I'm coming, sir. Come on, sir. Up that yourself. You all right, sir?
Yes, I'm all right. Come on, let's get out of here.
Yes, sir. Careful.
What do we do next? Get to the quayside quick and get the crew. Come on. Gotta get out of these things quick.
What, here? My underclothes are full of holes.
Not here, fathead, at the quay. Come on.
Where is he?
Who?
You know what I mean. The farmer I've just sent down.
I've seen no one.
You're lying to me. I believe you've helped to get him out.
Why should I?
That's what I want to know. But you did it yesterday, and you've done it again today.
Not today, I swear I...
Ah, then you did do it yesterday. I knew it. What's your game?
You thought if you could get rid of him safely, you could marry that girl. I'm not jealous. I don't care where you go and who you marry, but you won't take my money with you.
Where you're going, you'll need no money.
I was told to give you this, miss.
By whom?
A farmer, miss. He said you'd know him by his mark.
His mark?
Yes, miss. He was most particular, I should say, Mark.
Oh, Mark. Where did you meet him?
Outside where I work, Mr. Sweeney Todd's shop.
Sweeney Todd's? What was his message?
He said that you'd keep me here so that I shouldn't have to go back to Mr. Todd's anymore. Oh, please, miss, don't send me back again.
No, I'll keep you here. But what happened to the farmer?
He went inside, miss, to get shaved. Oh, miss, now that I'm away from Mr. Todd's, I can say it. There aren't many that Mr. Todd shaves that ever come out again as far as I can see.
Quick, come on.
Quick, Pearlie, get the crew. I'll be waiting for you.
Aye, sir.
Oh, can I come out now, miss?
Yes?
Oh, miss, do I have to do this for long?
Just till I get back.
Supposing you don't get back.
I will. How do I look?
Much too clean.
Clean. I know, cinders.
Let me do it. Close your eyes, miss. You look just like a charity boy now, miss. Hurry up, please, miss.
Well, whatever we do, we've got to do it quick. He'll know he's discovered and go into hiding. Probably take my pearls with him.
That's right.
To think of all the murders that have been committed in that shop.
Sure gives me the creeps when I think of it.
People chucked to their deaths in the cellars below.
I wonder if he buries them, what he does with them.
He wouldn't have room to bury them all there.
Well, what does he do with them?
How do I know?
Who are you, pray?
I was a boy before this happened.
Well, that's my mistress's frock. Take it off at once. Take it off. Take that off. Give it to me.
Not till I get my clothes back.
Well, where are your clothes?
On your mistress.
Where's she gone?
Mr. Todd's.
She must be mad.
That's what I told her, miss, but she wouldn't listen. You're not going to.
I am.
Oh, bring her back as quick as you can, please.
What do you want?
I wondered if you wanted an apprentice, sir.
I've got an apprentice. Be off with you.
Oh, but I've got money. I can pay.
I only want honest, hard-working boys, and I usually get them from the Beadle. But you look fairly honest. Perhaps you'd better come inside. You been here to see me before?
No, sir.
Strange. I must be thinking of somebody else. Where's the guinea?
What shall I do first, sir?
Sweep up the floor.
Yes, sir.
Give me that. Give me that. I tell you.
Let me go. Let me go.
I'm going to see what you've got in the bag.
Oh.
Oh, thank heaven you're here. Oh, sir, Miss Joanna.
What about her?
She's gone to Sweeney Todd's to find you. She thought you were in danger.
She's gone to that madman's place alone, but he's desperate. He'll kill her. Come on, everybody. Hi, shoot. What are you going to do?
I'm going to cut off your retreat.
Joanna. Joanna.
Mark.
Help! Help! Help!
Some say Pearlie was right, some say he wasn't.
You mean about Mrs. Loverton?
Yes, sir.
Is it my imagination, or do you smell cooking?
Yes, sir, it's probably the cooked meat shop next door. Now I'll just put a little keener edge on the razor, sir. For if you'll excuse me saying it, sir, you have a most beautiful throat for the razor. Beautiful.
But how else can we explain these terrible deaths? One else last night, 5 others before him. That's 6 within as many weeks, Inspector. Our friends, neighbors that we'd known for years, drained of their life's blood, found dead in bed, lifeless skeletons of skin and bone. Vampires are at large, I tell you, vampires.
Malignant demons who issue forth from their graves in the dead of night to attack their victims and drink the blood from their veins.
Gotten him a bread, Snyder, don't jest.
Ah, that blood-sucking legend belongs in the same category with werewolves and all other peasant superstitions.
But the bats, man. The bats. God, yes. Big ones, so.
Oh, now we're switching to bats again.
There was an epidemic of giant bats in Kleinschloss in 1643. And at the same time, there was an outbreak of vampirism.
Rot.
Why, this record from the town archive proves it.
Says it, not proves it.
Well, I'll show you. I'll show you. Now, here it is. And on this day was von Hausmann hanged from a gibbet in the public square after being convicted on a proven charge of vampirism. And on this same day, there did occur the departure of the bats. Thousands of horrible flying creatures which infested the town for weeks. And on the night of this same day, February 13, in the year of our Lord, 1643, was there a stake driven through von Hausmann's heart and his head cut off with a grave digger's shovel. There.
Well, all the records in the world can't make me believe in vampires. There are blood-sucking bats, yes. In South America, thousands of miles from here, but not in Kleinschloss.
But bats fly. They could fly here. You saw the bodies. All of them. 2 wounds on the neck, right at the jugular vein. 2 wounds on the neck, pierced and spread apart just as if 2 fang-like teeth had bitten through the flesh and right into the veins. And in every case, a blood clot, 8 inches from the victim's neck. The mark of the feast, the devil's signature.
Does that appear the mark of a human being or a demon's?
God save us, the devil's.
You ought to make a pretty fair meal for a vampire. But let's be consistent. Are these human vampires or bats?
Vampires can take the shape of a human or a bat, just as they choose.
Oh, they're magicians. Well, it doesn't make sense to me.
The whole village is in terror. We live in closed houses, behind locked doors and bolted shutters, not daring to close our eyes, fearful lest this unseen silent death may find us in our sleep, for it is then that it strikes, swiftly, silently, ghastly. My room is tightly closed. The windows are barred, nailed down. Nothing can get in. Nothing.
But they tell me vampires can go through stone walls like that.
God save me, so they can. We've got to do something, I tell you. Kleinschloss will become a deserted village.
Well, you might catch all the bats and drown them in the river.
Carl.
While you're hunting for vampires and chasing bats, I'm looking for a human being. A murderer, a fiend.
Well, then don't jest about it. Do something.
I'm trying to. Every hour, every day, every night since this thing started.
Do you hear it? Hear it? Yes. Night after night. Lying awake until dawn. Waiting.
For what?
I don't know.
That's what I thought. Good night, gentlemen. Don't let the vampires get you. Are your kisses dynamite?
Don't you like my kisses? Well, how's my mastermind this evening?
Well, if you want the truth, not so good.
The Burgermeister and his Grand Council still stick to the vampire theory.
Stick to it. Huh. They're quoting history to prove it. I think you and Dr. von Niemann are the only sane people left in the village.
And you? What about you?
Me? Well, I'm beginning to think I'm 7 different kinds of a fool. Murders are being done under my very nose. I must be as blind as the bats themselves. I can't find a single clue.
Oh, but you will, Carl. You will.
Well, I haven't.
Oh, Ruth!
And here comes dear Aunt Gussie to spread good cheer and hope.
Just what I thought. Slaving your life away in this awful place. It hasn't got that nice, clean, wholesome smell of a hospital. How are you, Carl?
Oh, quite well, thank you.
Well, I'm not. This clammy old place is bound to give me pericarditis, enterocolitis, neuritis, well, anyway, rheumatism. You have some coffee?
No, thank you, Frau Stammmann.
No, just as well. There's only 2 cups. Here, dear. That'll take the chill out of your bones.
Thank you.
Speaking of chills, Frau Stammmann, did you know the village is supposed to be infested with ghouls and vampires?
Oh, Carl.
Vampires. Pariahs among fiends. Demoniacal creatures with huge canine teeth who bite deeply into the necks of their victims to quaff and gorge on blood. Warm human blood.
There's no such thing as a vampire, Carl Brett Snyder. I don't believe in it. You're just saying that to frighten me. And I just won't be frightened. I'm entirely too sensible to believe in such rubbish.
I beg pardon.
Oh, so it's you.
I'm sorry if I frightened you.
Who said you frightened me? I'm not afraid of anything.
Could you tell me where Dr. von Niemann is?
We drove to the village to see Martha, the old apple woman.
Thank you.
Is this what Dr. Haupt prescribed?
Yes, sir. She takes it in water.
Well, continue giving it to her.
Yes, sir.
It's stifling in here. Open these windows.
Yes, sir.
Herman open windows. Me do, me do.
Well, she'll sleep well now, poor soul. It won't be necessary for you to stay here. A good night's sleep will work wonders for her.
It was kind of you to come, Doctor.
Oh. Martha has sold me apples for many years. Always a good, ripe, juicy one.
Martha, give me apples. I like.
Oh, Josephine. Oh, Josephine.
She wants her cross.
Herman, get. Herman, get. Here. Here. Now, there. For Martha. There. No.
She won't let it out of her sight.
A terrible experience. To be attacked by a giant bat is enough to shatter anyone's nerves.
She talks about it all the time. How it flew in her face and tried to sink its teeth in her throat.
No, 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 no. Bats no do. They soft, like cat. They not bite Herman.
Be quiet, Herman. See what you've done.
There, Martha, there. She'll be all right. If she isn't, let me know.
Thank you for coming, Doctor.
That's all right. Good night.
Good night. Run along, Herman. You can see Martha tomorrow.
Oh.
Ah, Dr. von Niemann.
Ah, Kringen, how are you?
Much better, thank you kindly, sir, since you prescribed for me.
That's right.
Go to bed, Herman. Go to bed. You shouldn't be prowling around the streets. Dangerous. Oh, I'm afraid.
Afraid? Afraid of what, Kringen?
The bats, sir. Big giant bats with wings like an eagle's.
You saw this bat, you say?
I saw it swooping down the street. It came directly for my throat, sir.
When was this, Kringen?
Last night when they came to take Von Els. It was a big monstrous thing. I saw it leap across the alley and into a window. I ran just as fast as my legs could carry me.
You said nothing about this?
There's enough fear in the village already. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. I will. I'll tell the Burgermeister.
Yes, Kringen. That's the thing to do.
No. Bats. Bats good. They not hurt Herman. He plays with them. You no tell. No. No. Go to bed, Herman. Go on. Go on, go to bed.
You say he plays with bats?
His garret is filled with them. He makes pets of them.
That's odd. Very odd.
Maybe he's it. Herman prowls around the streets all hours of the night, just like an animal. Maybe he's the vampire.
Now, don't start any gossip about that, Kringen. Heaven only knows where it might end. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Now, soft, nice. There.
See? What did I tell you?
Perhaps there's something in what Kringen says. Seems strange that a human being should want to play with bats.
He isn't human, I tell you. He's in league with the devil.
Put it on. Put it on. There. Thanks.
Now go to sleep. You'll be all right in a few days. The doctor says so.
Close the window. Close the window. I'm afraid. The vampire.
Well, he said leave them open, but I'd have them closed. You want the light?
Leave the light. I'm afraid.
Well, I can't blame you for that either. I'll turn it down a little. Good night. If you want me, just pound on the floor. I'll hear you.
All right. Good night.
Good night, Martha.
Oh.
Herr Brettschneider is here to see you, sir. He's in the laboratory with Miss Burton.
Oh, thank you. Ah, here you are.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, Ruth. How are you, Carl?
Well, I'd feel a lot better if I could find a solution to these murders.
You don't believe in this vampire theory, then?
Of course not. Do you?
There are many strange happenings, my boy. Many mysteries beyond the power of the human mind to comprehend.
Have you a theory which might explain these deaths?
Well, I'll be pleased to discuss it with you, but not now, not now. I have some very important work to do.
Well, tomorrow, then.
Tomorrow? Yes, perhaps. We'll see. Oh, this isn't so important, Miss Betty, that you can't let it go till tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Oh, how about Martha?
Huh? Oh, nothing serious. Just a case of nerves, that's all. Good night.
Good night,
Doctor. Good night, Carl. Name.
Martha Muller.
Age.
I don't know.
Cause of death.
Like all the rest.
The vampire.
Yes, that's so. When I said I was going to tell you, his eyes glowed up like coals of fire. His hand reached out towards me, as if he were going to sink it into my throat.
And weigh this well. He never works and never begs, and yet he appears well-fed always. That's so, he does. Well, what does he live on, then? I'll wager it's as Kringen says.
And my woman was in Martha's room tonight when Herman put a flower in her hand.
Strange business, if you ask me. Mighty strange.
I hate to be in your shoes, Kringen.
Yes, after what happened tonight, I'd lock myself in my room and pray God to protect me from the devil.
Good evening, and Doctor. Good evening.
Dr. von Niemann.
Vampire.
Well, what do you make of it, Doctor?
Are these two wounds similar to those found on the other bodies?
Dr. Haupt can answer that for you, sir.
Yes, they were the same in every case.
This is a strange condition, Carl. So strange that I doubt the evidence of my eyes. What was your conclusion, Haupt?
I diagnosed the wounds as having been made by needle-sharp teeth. Punctures are clean cut, penetrating into, but not beyond, the jugular vein.
Do you mean to say that you also believe they could have been made by teeth?
Frankly, I do.
Ah, you see, Brett Schneider?
What kind of teeth, Doctor?
An animal of some sort. It's hard to say. The fangs of a wolf, perhaps.
A werewolf.
Could they have been made by, well, a bat, for instance?
A certain species, yes. There are vampire bats. Dr. William Jamison, who explored many of the tributaries of the upper Amazon, states that blood-sucking bats do exist. He further asserts that the victims often become blood drinkers themselves, citing a case in which he saw a native tortured to death in an anthill by his tribe brothers. They swore he had become a human bat, and, states Jamison, he confessed it.
Do you mean to say that such a thing as a human vampire is possible?
Who can say? Historic records would have us believe that an evil soul, assuming there is such, can take any shape it pleases.
So why not into that of a human being? Eh, Carl? Why not?
Have you any literature on the subject, Doctor?
Yes, I have many interesting volumes on my shelves that might prove very enlightening. I'll be glad to show them to you.
I don't mind admitting that I'm up a tree. Stumped.
Well, we'll see what can be done, my boy.
No, Herman. This is no place for you. Go away, my boy. Go away.
Good night, Sean.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Howard.
Good night, Doctor.
In the morning, Carl.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm sorry to have dragged you out at such an ungodly hour.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. A child fleeing in horror from the sight of death.
There goes the vampire. Arrest him. Lock him up. Kill him.
Has the entire village gone mad? Herman wouldn't harm a baby, and you know it.
I've walked the streets of this village for over 40 years, but tonight's the end. He knows that I've told he plays with bats. He knows that I saw him sneak into Martha's house just before midnight.
Perhaps he was taking her another flower, Kringle. The boy brought her one this evening while I was there.
He killed her just like he did all the rest. And now he's gonna kill me. Unless he's killed in a stake driven through his heart, I'm a doomed man. He'll kill me. He'll kill me. I'm doomed. He'll kill me. He'll kill me. I'm a doomed man. He'll kill me.
Good morning, Mr. Brett Schneider. What brings you to Kleinschloss so early?
You?
Fibber. I heard the doctor tell Georgiana he expected you.
I knew there was something else.
You're a delightful prevaricator, Carl, but not a very convincing one.
Oh, you don't mind me using your stethoscope, do you, Doctor?
Not at all, Frau Schnappen. But what seems to be the ailment this morning?
What's that? Oh.
What seems to be the ailment this morning?
Well, Doctor, I am positive that I have valvular leakage of the aorta. Or maybe it's the right ventricle. There is something wrong with my heart. I can hear it beat, thump, 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 just like the book says.
Well, if you didn't hear it beating thump, 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 just as the book says, I would say there is something wrong.
What? Without a moon?
You have a heart of stone.
All right, then. Close your eyes. No.
Oh, so, young lady.
It's too early in the morning, Carl. Much too early.
Oh, is it?
Oh, there's Aunt Gussie.
She would show up just at a time like this.
Well, Aunt Gussie, what's the matter now?
I have palpitation of the auricular, ventricular, and mitral valves with a cardiac tendency.
You mean your heart's beating?
Of course it's beating. Dr. Von Neelen tried to assure me, but I know it's serious. I'm liable to go just like that.
Did he prescribe for you, dear?
Yes, monacid ester salicylic acid.
You mean salicylic acid, don't
Well,
you?
salicylic, it's helped me. My heart is much quieter. Hello, Carl.
Hello.
Oh, Carl, you'll be good to her when I'm gone, won't you?
Yes, of course I will, Frau Schnappmann.
Well, I'm not gone yet. You can't marry her unless I say so. Don't forget that. Oh, my heart.
There, Auntie, you'll be all right. Just rest a while. What you need is...
What?
Rest, dear. Quiet. And Gussie has a heart like a steam engine. Carl.
Don't you know it's wrong to steal? You've cut yourself.
See? Blood.
Yes. Stop it, stop it.
No hurt me. No hurt.
Oh, you poor thing. Now, you wait right here, and I'll run in the house and get something for that finger. A subcutaneous wound like that might easily result in a tetanus infection.
Tetanus.
Tetanus. Lockjaw. Not that you need be afraid. From the way you talk, I think you've got it already. Look, here's a nice juicy apple for you.
Ah, this is it. Traits sur les appréciations des esprits et sur les vampires by Augustin Dom Calame in 1746. Let us suppose that these corpses do not actually stir from their tombs, that only the ghosts or spirits appear to the living. Wherefore do these phantoms present themselves, and what is it that energizes them? Is it actually the soul of the dead man which has not yet departed to its final destination?
Fiddlesticks. Now, how could a corpse buried under 4 or 5 feet of earth get out to do any such foolishness? I don't believe it.
It's a fair question, Doctor. How could it?
Well, according to accepted theory, the vampire dematerializes its body and reintegrates it outside the grave.
It's a good explanation, if you can believe it. And while I'm standing here listening to all this rubbish, there's a poor man in the garden in danger of a tetanus infection. Now, what should I do for him, Doctor? Shall I apply mercurochrome or 2% solution of bichloride?
Well, either will do. Get some gauze and some mercurochrome.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll wait here.
Difficult to believe, isn't it?
It's impossible to believe. And yet, it would explain these deaths, wouldn't it?
Ah, Brett Schneider. Pardon our intrusion, Dr. von Niemann, but after what you saw last night, you'll be interested in this as well.
Well, what's happened?
Gringen was found dead an hour ago, with the 2 punctures in his neck and not a drop of blood in his body. And what's more, Herman Gleib has disappeared.
What?
Now are you convinced that we were right and you were wrong?
That'd be proof enough for anybody. Kringen said Herman would get him, and he did.
Well, Brett Schneider?
I appoint you my deputy. Organize a searching party and comb this countryside from one end to the other. Find Herman Gleib and bring him in, but don't harm him. Do you understand?
What good will that do? He's the vampire. There's only one thing for us to do when we find him. Kill him and drive a stake through his
Herman
heart.
Gleib will be tried by a court of law. If the charge against him is proven true, the law will decide what to do with him, not you. Now get your men together and do as I tell you.
That's the way to talk.
I'm going into town for a little while, Doctor. Would you care to come along?
Oh, I hardly believe so. There's little to be done until they find the boy. If you need me then,
All right, thanks. I'll let you know.
I feel as though I was going to faint.
Oh, there, Auntie. There's nothing here to be afraid of. Here comes Emil with your mercurochrome and bandages. Run along now and take care of that patient of yours.
Oh, heavens, I forgot all about him. Oh. Oh, my heart. Oh.
Poor Auntie. She's had every ailment in the book.
And a lot that aren't, I'm afraid.
Particularly a palpitation of the auriculoventricular, tricuspid, and mitral valves, Doctor.
Well, I had to tell her something to satisfy her.
Here, you mustn't do that. Now, where's that finger?
You good like Martha. She give me apples. Herman like you.
Are you Herman?
Me, Herman. You give me apple? Herman give you nice soft bat.
What is it, Georgiana?
I just found this in Emil's room.
Well,
It belonged to my friend, Martha Mueller.
are you certain?
I gave it to her myself. Martha died last night. I find her crucifix in Emil's room. Doesn't that mean Emil is the one Herr Brettschneider is seeking?
This amazes me, Georgiana. It isn't possible.
It rained the night Von Elst died. There was mud on Emil's shoes the next morning.
Have you mentioned this to anyone?
I intend to tell Herr Brettschneider when he calls again.
Can't believe it. Leave this with me. I want to talk to Emil before you say anything to anyone.
The Burgermeister should know at once.
Yes, all in good time. Emil has been with me too long for us to jump at conclusions. Don't say anything until I tell you, and send Emil to me.
Very well, Doctor.
That's for the neuritis. And the pepsin, that Hassenpfeffer is tougher than shoe leather. And sweet spirits of nitre, that'll help, at least won't do any harm. And ginger, that'll warm my stomach. And now, a little pipe out of soda.
Herman, you're going back to the village with us. Come on. We won't hurt you.
No, won't go. Herman afraid.
Come on. You're going with us, Herman.
No.
You're going with us.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on. Get him. Come on, Herman. We won't hurt you. Come on.
No. No.
Come, that settles him.
Yes, let's go. We got
Hey.
him down below.
We've got to make certain. I won't go down there. Nobody asked you to. I'll go myself. Can you see him? He's on a ledge about 50 feet down. I'll get a rope. We've got to make certain, I tell you.
must be careful, Emil. Very careful. No. It must be, it must be. She's no better than the rest. I've got to go on.
Oh, it's you, Doctor. Good evening.
I'm sorry to have to disturb you, Doctor, but we simply couldn't make Georgiana hear the bell.
That's quite all right, my dear. Georgiana's becoming careless. Very careless.
Yes, I've noticed that, too. In my opinion, she has nagana. That's sleeping sickness. You know the symptoms, Doctor. At first, I thought it was creeping paralysis, so I stuck a pin in her leg to see, and there was a splendid reaction of the reflex motor nerve.
Why, Auntie.
You're shocked. So was she.
Won't you join me in some coffee? Yes, thanks, Doctor. We will. There are a few questions I'd like to ask you, Paul.
About blood and murders and vampires, I suppose.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Oh, so am I. Well, good night. If such a thing is possible, I'm going to bed.
Won't you join us too, Frau Schnappmann?
Coffee at this hour of the night? No, thank you. I'm going to stick to my monacid ester salicylic salad. Acid, Doctor, acid. Good night.
What's the news in the village, Carl? Have they located Herman yet?
No, not a trace of him. I hate to think of that poor misfit being hunted down like a dog. You know, I simply can't bring myself to believe in that vampire theory.
Will you pour, Ruth?
Certainly.
I know, Carl. Our saner, calmer judgment tells us that such things can't be, and yet, here, for instance, in this ponderous tome, are cited 1,001 phobias and complexes that human beings are heir to. Some of them are strange, more untenable even than werewolves and vampires. Could I have some more, please?
You drink entirely too much coffee.
Well, it's my one weakness. And also my excuse for tolerating Georgiana's laxity and other things. She does know how to make good coffee. Thank you. She brings it to me every night at exactly 10 o'clock. And when I've drunk it all, then I know it's time to quit.
Yes. And eat breakfast so you can have more coffee.
Oh.
Georgiana, you mustn't lie like that. You'll get yourself a tart of coolers. No, stiff neck. Georgiana.
That was Auntie. Auntie!
Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right now. Oh, it's just...
Emil, help Frau snap into her room.
I'm silly imagination. I imagined myself, Joseph.
The same 2 wounds, Doctor.
And my last words to her were angry ones. A petulant reprimand for being late with my coffee.
What time is that?
About 2 or 3 minutes after 10.
She's been dead then about 45 minutes. Bloodless like the rest. It passes all belief. Ruth's aunt saw Herman Gleib in the garden this morning. Could it be that he... You were the first one here. What happened?
I was in my room reading. My door was open. I must have dozed off for a minute or so because I awoke to hear Frau Schnappmann scream.
You say your door was open?
Yes, my room was very poorly ventilated.
And you saw nothing? Heard nothing unusual?
Nothing.
Carl.
What is it?
This crucifix belonged to Martha. See who it is, Emil.
Can you positively identify this as belonging to Martha?
Without a doubt. I saw it in her room the night she died.
How in the world did it get here?
Herman Gleib was in her room. He had that crucifix in his hands. And Herman was here today.
Maybe here now, for all we know.
Who is it? Oh,
How is she?
she's had a real shock this time, but she'll be all right. I'm putting her to bed.
Leave her there. Don't let her out of this room. And don't you leave it either.
Why, what do you mean?
It looks as if Herman Gleib is the killer after all. It's possible he may be hiding here in the castle.
Why, what makes you think so?
I'll tell you later. Stay in your room and keep your door locked.
Don't worry about that.
I heard every word he said, and I don't think there's any use of them searching for Herman. They should look for a dog, a human-faced dog.
Auntie, the doors and windows are all locked. There's nothing to be afraid of now.
Oh, who said I was afraid? I'm not a bit afraid.
No, of course you're not afraid, but you must get some rest.
Rest in this awful place? With dog-faced Hermans and human-faced bats and blood and murders and vampires.
Find anything, Carl?
There's an unbroken cobweb in that window. If Herman did it, he came through the door.
He must have. And yet I don't understand how he could find his way up here without us hearing him. Yet Emil was asleep, and I was in the library. Yes, he could have done it. The facts all point to it. What was it, Emil?
The Burgermeister. He has news for Herr Brettschneider about Herman.
Oh.
Pardon the intrusion, Doctor. Pardon the intrusion. I knew Carl was here, and I thought you wouldn't mind if I ran in to tell him the news.
About Herman?
Yes. He fell into the Devil's Well in the cave.
He's dead?
Dead as a doornail. This ends our troubles, Carl. The vampire's dead. I can feel it in my bones.
Well, your bones may be wrong. What time did this happen?
Quite early, about 9 o'clock. The cave is nearly 2 hours from here. That's why we didn't hear it sooner.
Well, it may interest you to know that there's been another death after your vampire died.
Who?
Dr. von Niemann's housekeeper. Right here in her own room.
Mother of mercy. What are we going to do?
But a natural death wouldn't kill a vampire, Carl. You know the accepted theory. A stake driven through the heart.
Oh, yes, that's the theory, all right.
But...
But what?
But they did. They drove a stake through his heart.
Good God, are we living in the Middle Ages?
It wasn't through my sanction, Carl. Basawa did it. He told me so himself.
Well, that ends the vampire theory as far as I'm concerned. Herman Gleib died in the accepted fashion for killing a vampire. Oh, no, there's some human agency at work here, Doctor. A madman who kills to satisfy some violent, sadistic urge.
Yes, you're right, Carl. I've been a fool, a superstitious fool.
Did they leave his body in the cave?
Yes. Yes, they did.
Well, in view of what's happened, don't you think you owe him a decent burial?
You're right. In view of what has happened, we do owe him that, Carl. I'll see to it at once, this very instant. And I'll make arrangements for Georgiana's removal to the morgue. Good night, Doctor. Pardon the intrusion.
Good night, Gustav.
Pardon the intrusion.
Well, here I am, just where I started weeks ago. There isn't a single theory that doesn't lead straight into a stone wall. I've jested about this vampire business because my better judgment told me it was a lot of nonsense. Then I reached the point where I was willing to accept even that, because it seemed to satisfy the equation. All of it a bit superstitious. I don't know which way to turn, where to look, what to look for. Why should anyone want human blood? Why? Why?
Calm yourself, Carl.
Calm myself. Calm myself. With all these unsolved murders staring me in the face and no solution in sight? How much blood is there in the human body, Doctor?
About 6 liters, approximately.
Can you think of any purpose for which that amount of blood might be used?
No. Not even in transfusions.
That's the point which stops me. There isn't any other use for human blood. Murderers leave clues. And these atrocities are murders, Doctor. Those simple fools in the village can believe what they like, but you and I are sane, thinking people. And you know and I know, Doctor, that these are murders. The last one was done here. In this very house, right under this roof. All right, I'll start here. I'm going over every foot of this place, both inside and out. Nobody, sane or insane, is clever enough to get away with murder without leaving a clue of some sort. And I'm going to find that clue.
Now, come, Carl. You mustn't let your nerves run away with you. Here. These will help to give you a good night's sleep. If there are any clues, they'll be here in the morning when your nerves are calm and your mind is clear. Take my advice and go home and rest.
I imagined 1,000 demons were after me as I came down those stairs.
Ruth, didn't I tell you to stay in your room?
Yes, but I wanted the doctor to come up and quiet Auntie. You know, it isn't her imagination this time.
Of course, Ruth, I'll come right away. Take my advice, young man. Go home and go to bed.
Good night, Carl.
Good night, Ruth.
Good night, Carl.
Good night, Doctor.
If his lights are on, you must wait, Emil. Wait until he has gone to bed. Handle him as you did the others, Emil. You are strong. Very strong. I am waiting for you. Waiting for you to bring him to the laboratory.
You're the one. What mad thing are you doing?
Mad? Is one who has solved the secret of life to be considered mad? Life, created in the laboratory. No mere crystalline growth, but tissue. Living, growing tissue. Life that moves, pulsates, and demands food for its continued growth. Huh. You shudder in horror. So did I the first time. But what are a few lives be weighed in the balance against the achievement of biological science? Think of it. I have lifted the veil. I have created life. Wrested the secret of life from life. Now do you understand? From the lives of those who have gone before, I have created life.
I'll tell Carl.
You may. For tonight, Carl's name will be added to yours. And all of those whom this achievement will immortalize.
I didn't take your sleeping tablets, Doctor. Emil brought them here. He's the one who murdered them. Stay where you are. You'll have a chance to tell everything, Doctor.
I'll take care of Von Niemann. Get her out of here.
You stay here. Von Niemann and Emil.
Doctor! Dr. Von Niemann!
Carl, she mustn't see them.
Where is Dr. Von Niemann? I must see him immediately.
Aunt Gussie, you can't. He can't be disturbed.
Oh, but I must see him. I simply must. And that hydrous magnesium sulfate he gave me is affecting me most peculiarly. You'll pardon me?
Hydrous magnesium sulfate. Well, that's Epsom salts.